Yo, what's going on, my fellow Avengers Squad members? Now, in today's video, we'll be talking about Marvel's Avengers Iron Man issue number 1, which released on December 11th. Now, we'll be talking about all the Easter eggs and the details that you may have missed while reading the comic book. Now, before we get to the video, I just want you guys to know, if you guys enjoying the Avengers content so far, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and notification bell as well, so you can be notified when I upload a video and go live. Now, guys, we'll be going crazy. We're getting closer and closer to 1K every day, so it's greatly appreciated if you guys do, and I really appreciate you guys for watching the video or even clicking on it. So let's get into the video. Now, for the first reference, it comes from the Avengers movie, that a quote that Tony did while they was in the helicarrier having a little argument towards the end of the movie, if you guys remember. Now, in the comics, it's on the first page of it. Now, Tony states that he's a billionaire, genius, philanthropist, most eligible bachelor. Now, doesn't that sound really familiar to you guys? If you guys been following the Avengers movies, it sounds really familiar. Now, in the movies, Tony says he's a genius, billionaire, philanthropist, and a playboy. Now, it's really cool. I like the way they reference that from the movies. It's really cool. I will show you guys the clip of it when he says this in the movie. But it's really cool. I like the way they did that. If you guys really haven't been paying attention, it could really slip your mind. But I caught that on the first day I read this comic book. Now, let's get into the clip.
What are you? Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Now, overall, for that reference, it's really cool. I like the way they're paying homage to the movies, especially with Iron Man, they're taking a quote from the movies and putting it into the comics, switching up in their own style. I like the way they're doing that. It's really cool overall. Now, let's get into the second reference that you guys, or detail that you may have missed while reading this comic book. It's in the first page as well as from the first reference with the Avengers movie, is the bleeding edge armor. Now, while Iron Man is fighting the Beetle and struggling, he goes on to say that why is he struggling trying to fight the Beetle when he has his bleeding edge armor on. Now, it's basically confirmed that Iron Man that we know right now in the Marvel's Avengers universe has the bleeding edge armor. Now, it's crazy thinking about it because we're just getting the bleeding edge armor in the MCU for Iron Man, but now in the comics he already has a bleeding edge armor. And overall, the bleeding edge armor is like an old armor, even though it is not getting into style now since they just use it in the movies. But it's really cool to know that he has a bleeding edge armor in this comic book already, and it's probably in the 8A trailer, 8A gameplay as well, with the bleeding edge armor. I'm not 100% on it, but I think it is the bleeding edge armor that we've seen already, especially in 8A in the comics right now. So it's really cool overall that we have the bleeding edge armor in Marvel's Avengers. I can't wait to see what other armors they have in the game overall. So that was really a cool reference. I like that. Now let's go on to the next Easter egg / reference. Now, guys, this one is really big. This one has to deal with the Avengers 1 movie and Age of Ultron. It's a reference to those movies in this quote right here. Now, Iron Man goes on to state that I've defeated alien invasions and robot armies before, and I'm struggling with the Beetle. Now, guys, this is really crazy. This basically, I'm not saying it confirms it, but guys, what happened in Avengers 1? That had an alien invasion from Loki, and they had to defeat it. That's when they first formed. And they have the robot armies. Now, what robot armies that happened recently that you could think of? Age of Ultron. It's so crazy how they referencing these movies. It's really cool, honestly. Some people might have their grips about them referencing the movies. Why can't they do their own? But it's really cool. I honestly like it. Now, this because it basically confirms that maybe later on in the line, probably in the game somehow. I'm not confirming it, but we may get those appearances of probably from those robot armies with Ultron, or we may get it from from the first movie. I'm not really sure what the aliens were, what their kind was, but I'm pretty sure they was lead. I know they was lead by Thanos and Loki, but I can't really go into detail what they are. But it'll be cool if you get a reference from them in the game while we're playing it, especially like for Loki. If, for example, they go that route with the way that Loki invaded Earth, that would be really cool. But that's crazy thinking about that, because they referenced Age of Ultron, which had Ultron, in the first movie with the alien invasion with Loki. That's really cool. I like that. Now, for the next one, it's basically like a little small detail or Easter egg, I guess you could say, but the Fixer exists in this universe from all the Avengers. Now, if you guys know, Fixer is the one that helped Beetle get his upgrades for his suit, basically using some of Tony's stolen tech. Now, the Fixer, he worked with Hydra and Roxanne, so it's, I guess it's really cool to he's basically like another tinkerer, I guess you could say. He just helps upgrade his enemies, their suits and armor and all. So that's a little cool reference or a little Easter egg for you guys to know. And also, we have Another one, the distrust with the Avengers and Nick Fury. Now, later on in the comic, Tony eventually finds out that Nick Fury has secret surveillance on him with his weapons, suits, and systems, and they end up getting hacked by Spy Master, which causes all of Tony's weapons, suits, and ideas to get stolen by him to be sold on the black market for evil deeds. And without Tony knowing this information, he went to go investigate with Black Widow and Bruce because he thought they were the ones that leaked this information. And with Tony eventually found out that it was Nick Fury the whole time that had secret surveillance on him, in which the servers ended up getting hacked, which got his stuff stolen. That's basically how the Beetle got his upgrades with his suits. That's why Tony was struggling with him. It's basically overall goes back to Nick Fury, and Nick Fury was the one that did all this trust that broke with Tony and him, because he didn't trust Tony at all when they've been working for years. Now this sounds very familiar in the movies for Avengers 1, when Tony, they didn't trust each other at all. Nick Fury and Tony, they didn't trust each other from the beginning, because Tony knew how shady Nick Fury was overall in the Shield company overall, so he knew what he was going to do. Now in the comics, Tony basically just splits away, he cuts ties with the Shield and Nick Fury and all, goes on his own thing. Now he's still an Avenger, he's just not working with Shield anymore because of where they do their business and how they do their little secrets. Now overall, what do you guys think about all these references, Easter eggs at all that appeared in Marvel Avengers Iron Man issue number 1? Now I want to know, what do you guys think about this comic overall if you got a chance to read it? Did you guys like it? Did you love it? Or did you hate it? Let me know in the comments. We can talk about it below. But yeah, if you guys really enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that notification bell as well, so you know whenever I upload a video go live. And also, I do have a Discord. It's called Avengers Squad. We go over everything dealing with Marvel's Avengers. So if you guys are interested and want to join, all you gotta do is join. That's it. Then you're in. That's all you have to do. But yeah, as I said before, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. The comments below. And I really hope you guys have a good day. And yeah, goodbye.
Put your left behind, put your left behind.